gracious viewers, hello and welcome to today's Good People, Good Works, featuring an interview with Mia McDonald, the vegan founder and executive director of the nonprofit organization Brighter Green. Based in New York City, USA, the organization's dedicated members use their wide range of skills and knowledge to help create a better world for humans, animals, and our planet.
Brighter Green is a public policy action tank, and it was established to look at issues of environment, animals, and sustainability, bring those together, transform public policy and dialogue about those issues globally and locally with a particular focus on issues of equity and rights. So when I say public policy, I mean government policies. I also mean the way society views certain issues. And our goal is really to do thinking. So we're like a think tank, but we call ourselves an action tank because while we're thinking, we're also doing. We're taking the results of our research, our writing, our thinking, some international networking, and to transform those into actual programs and actual change on the ground.
Ms. McDonald has long been committed to animal advocacy and environmentalism, having worked as a consultant to organizations such as the World Wildlife Fund, or WWF, Save the Children, the Sierra Club, and several United Nations agencies.
My background is in public policy and actually international public policy. And what I would find is I would go to environmental conferences or conferences focused more on gender or human rights, and I really wouldn't see any attention to the set of issues Brighter Green is trying to work on, issues of this growth of intensive animal agriculture and what that really means and the real downsides of that. So I felt like I wanted to work on those issues in a more structured way.
Operating both independently and in conjunction with other groups around the world, Brighter Green focuses on reaching out to the public, politicians, policymakers, and the media, from the local to the international level on topics that are most vital to our planet right now.
So how we try to work to get it out there. One way is by doing a lot of research, so we feel like we have the facts at our hands. The other is by networking, to liaise with groups in different countries who are interested in this set of issues. They might care about water pollution and see that factory farms are very heavily polluting water resources in countries. So we try to make alliances, and then we basically try to share our research with key people, both inside governments, in policy institutions, of which there are a growing number around the world, and with global civil society, of which it seems like your work is part of that as well, where there are people who care about the state of the planet, care about the future of the planet, and are really trying to work to change conditions in their local communities, but also within governments. So just for one concrete example, I attended the Copenhagen climate change talks, and so there I spoke on a panel that looked at issues of climate change, livelihoods, and livestock. So again, I was trying to bring the livestock sector into a broader framework of climate and livelihoods. On the panel was Wangari Maathai, the 2004 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and actually Brighter Green co-sponsored that panel with the Green Belt movement. So the room was packed, and it was, a great effort to try to share this work and try to show the context of why it really is important to climate. So I'd say that's one concrete example. We're also doing some documentation work, and again in Copenhagen showed a film that we're making about intensive animal agriculture in China. So again, another way of trying to engage both individuals, people with organizations, as well as, if we can, people in making positions.
1/3 of the world's cereal harvest, and over 90% of soya, is used for animal feed. The grain currently fed to livestock is enough to feed 2 billion people. Brighter Green is building awareness among the public of the multitude of environmental, ethical, and health concerns related to factory farming.
So one area that I think your viewers will be interested in is we are looking to change the way people think about food and the way they think about animals. in the context of things like animal rights, but also in the context of sustainability, environmental rights, and some larger concepts of food security and equity. So one of the main programs we have is tracking factory farming. And as some of your viewers will also know, this phenomenon that has been unfortunately spread around the world to many countries that we think of as developing countries. So places like China, places like India, places like Brazil, even poorer countries like Ethiopia and other countries in Africa and Latin America. So what we're trying to show is how this phenomenon is extremely negative. One is from a climate perspective, but also looking at some issues of animal welfare, public health, other ecological concerns, issues of ethics, issues of equity, and trying to make the case, again, based on science, based on research, based on interviews with people in a number of countries, that this is not the road to go down.
When we return, we'll continue our conversation with Mia McDonald as she further discusses her group's benevolent work and goals for the future. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.